in this current time, the most important two things that you can build is a team under you and a fan base. And all the things that you think you might need to get those two things are exactly what you'll get once you build those first teams.
What's good, what's poppin'? Let me say that again. Yo, what's good, what's poppin'? Let me say that one more time. I said, what's good, what's poppin'? I said, I feel like I got that 4th and 1 flow right now, man. I feel good about this one, though. Hey, yo, what's good, what's poppin', what it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton, the song, Mr. Boogie Doll, here with another episode of Funky Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise. I really do promise. If one more hater try to stop me, it's gonna be some dreadhead killers in the lobby. Oh, I like this one. Like where we at. I promise to give good content for the masses, but most of all, ladies and gentlemen, I just promise to keep it funky. I mean, do I really need an intro with that intro? But I'm gonna give an intro anyway. Grammy Award-winning musical artist and activist, a TV personality, a philanthropist, a father, proud Chicago native. Yes. It's Chicago, nigga. You dig what I'm saying? I present this song and introduce to others the man, Chance the Rapper.
Yo, thank you for having me, brother.
Doing, bro.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. You good?
I am. This is a beautiful space, man.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful space.
Your people's good?
Yeah, everybody's good. Yo, I appreciate it.
Album dropping? Well, at this particular point, it's already.
The album will be out, yeah, man. It feels good. It feels good to release music, man. I feel like I always got something to say. So, it's been so long since I dropped my last project.
What took you so long, bro?
Life, I guess. Like, I've been living. Like, there's been so much shit that happened to me in the last 6 years and so much things that I've been impressing upon. And I feel like it's just been all of that growth. I feel it when I listen back to the album, like really like track by track, I can remember what country I was in or what, you know what I'm saying, what happened, what news I got that day. You know, it's like, it's low-key kind of crazy because now it's all done. Now it's like a, what do they call it at your grandma's house? Like a photo album. It's like a photo album of like when I think about like what was going on when we made Ride, what was going on when I made Space and Time, what was going on when I made, like when I started to make songs like Negro Problem or Burn Your Block, like all of those songs, like I was in a specific place. I was in Jamaica or Ghana or, you know, Italy or at the crib. You know what I'm saying? We made so much stuff at the crib. It's just crazy.
I think what's so important about this, and I really want to make the most impact for the time that we have, but the thing that people may not realize how big you are, how the platform that you've created, you are independently owned, independently driven, independently, pushed from full creative freedom, the business behind that, like everything.
Yeah.
Talk about
that shit's scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know you know. Like, you built this. Like, when you're using your own money for literally dreams, like things that you think of, you try and get your team, your friends, your peoples, to your family, to like all believe in something, and you're using your money that's also supposed to pay for your kids, supposed to pay for your, whatever, funerals, people getting sick, all of that stuff. Yeah. Like, it could be scary, but there's also such a like freeing thing. I feel like that's what makes me still feel sometimes like a kid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm believing in this. Like, I'm believing that these raps is gonna matter. And then you go out there, like, the good thing about being independent is that you gotta go do it yourself. So I'm out in the streets, like, really touching the fans, really talking to people, really trying to sell CDs.
When you say like out in the streets, like when was the last time you were really like trying to get a person to buy like on some, what you said, the Nipsey, the Master P?
That Master P, I'm on that right now. I sell CDs. Like I would literally sold one in the airport. We landed in Atlanta this morning and like my CD is like is all I have. That's like I'm not doing vinyls. I'm not doing like traditional. I'm just like I'm hand to hand into people, and I'm having conversations with people that tell me a crazy story about I don't know, they brother, they mom, or they dog died or something. I don't know. Like people have like stories about how I intersected in their life, and to be able to like pass something off like this to somebody hand to hand, that's really what it's about. And I feel like I ain't.
So you taking cash? You selling nickel bags?
I was telling you, it's the NFC content. So like most niggas, they'll sell you a CD on their website, knowing you don't got a CD player. But this got the NFC technology. You tap your phone to it, and it could Bluetooth straight off your phone.
No. Now that's wild, right? So what people may not know, right? I seen this whole NFC situation happen, and in real time, like brain. I literally, like he said, swipe your phone right here. No, it's not that. It's like your phone literally licks a CD cover, and then pop comes the whole album.
Yeah. No,
but that's a little tricky though, because it's like, whoa, before you get the album, nigga, hey, pay me. You know what I'm saying? Cash at me that.
Yeah. But that's what people want. They want personal connection. They want to believe that people exist. Like people are tired of seeing people just in their phone. So it's like when you go touch people, like you coach kids. I work with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we do stuff that's in the community that has a bigger impact than putting up a big billboard somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think like when you go out and touch people, you find out that they really fuck with you. I got words that I wrote on paper that's tattooed to somebody's body. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel the weight of the importance of what I do most when I go out, not when I'm on the internet or trying to do another campaign for something like that's on some billboard shit. But like when you go, like me living in Chicago, like I wish people could understand what it's like. Like I get real love every day, just going to the grocery store, going to McDonald's, going to do something. And I feel like if I wasn't grounded in that, I would be super lost in this shit.
For sure. I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but the people have been fiending, me specifically. Coloring book for me was something that it was an experience.
Thanks.
Like for sure. And it's been 6 years since you dropped any type of project. Well, not any, because you've made singles, but at the same time, life has been lifing.
Yeah.
When you see or you look back or you're in real time, like what's the biggest misconception of Chance?
Wow, that's a great question. There's a lot of misconceptions. What's the biggest one? I mean, there's some people that think that I'm perfect. There's some people that think I'm terrible. There's some people that think, you know, that I make rap in a certain type of way that I don't. I feel like the biggest misconception is that I'm not human. Like, in any direction, if you think that I'm some great or you think that I ain't shit, like, I'm a regular person. Like, I live life. I got family members that get sick. I got, you know, bills to pay. I got, you know, joyous days that I don't want to think about even being Chance the Rapper. Like, I don't even remember that I'm Chance the Rapper until somebody asks me for a picture. Like, when I wake up every day, I'm thinking about the most in front of me shit as possible. Like, the things that are, like, right in front of me, which is family, which is, like, you know, what I'm finna eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Regular stuff. And I think, like, I don't remember until I either go outside of Chicago or I go on the internet type shit. So like, that's where I see people, and it's not just me. I don't want to make it seem like it's specific to me. That's just like celebrity culture. I know they do that to you. Like they do that to anybody that you could see on your phone all the time that's a famous person. It's like, you see them as like trading cards or something, or like some type of, you know what I'm saying?
The worst thing for me is like, you always think that I'm supposed to be how you thought me to be.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like my partner Peggy. If I get another person say, Peggy, it's like, bro, hi, what's up, bro? He's like, I mean, I got things to do. And a lot of people do forget that you are human. You do have feelings. If you slap me right now, it's going to be a retaliation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Issue.
For real. I think that a common misconception that I have for you is I forget that you're from Chicago. Because
for real.
When I think of Chicago, I think of Chirac.
Yeah.
It's given you might not make it. Oh, bang, bang. Like, it's giving that. It's like, oh, dang, the chance is from there. Like, but that drill scene versus, you know, a whole different dynamic that we're going to talk about even later on. It's like, how do you maneuver even through that while keeping your independent style? Because you don't look like this person or that person. I'm gonna refrain from saying names, but it's like,
No, I feel you.
nigga, you on The Voice.
They
You know
put
what I'm
me on
saying?
though. Like the truth is, I would have never. Like I say this all the time. Like Chicago really became that epicenter of rap around 2012, 2013 because people started being down to work together. Like when we were kids, like a lot of the rappers that came out before us, it used to be a saying, Chicago hates everybody. Like we was a city of hella hate. Like niggas did not want to promote or go to a show or listen to a song from a local rapper. And local rappers didn't want to connect with local rappers. And it wasn't until like my age group, people like Keith, people like Dirk, people like Vic, Saba, No Name, like a lot of artists around the same time, we started playing the same little venues in Chicago, selling them joints out, you know. And I always give credit to Keith and to a lot of artists on the drill scene, King Louie, like all of them getting the spotlight on Chicago from like MTV and like having all the labels come through. Like that's what started the Chicago rap scene. So if it wasn't for them, I don't think people would have been looking as closely to Chicago. A lot of the opportunities I got was from, and I don't know why I never made no drill music. That's actually, I never really even thought about that till right now, because thinking about myself, like in that time period, it was so influential and so like, it was all I was listening to. It was all everybody in the city was listening to. Like Keith was like the biggest thing to happen in that time. Like in 2012, like not just in Chicago, but we went down to South by Southwest. Niggas was hanging out of vans and on the top of trucks and shit. Like it was like that movement, it propelled everybody forward.
What I'm most interested about first is, can you make drill music?
Hell yeah.
Of course you can, but like we're in a very sensitive time in music. This is coming from a fan, where it's like, talk about what's authentic to your life. For you to make some drill music, do you think it would be accepted?
Accepted is different. I think, and also I got to think about what you mean by drill, because I think a drill has a lot of different things. Like I'm thinking about production. I'm thinking about, you know, like you said, the content, what you're talking about. I'm thinking about like the flow of like the rhythm of my raps and shit. And so, yeah, I could do all of that stuff. The truth is, like, I'ma never not rap about my real life. So my music is gonna contain, you know, references to, you know, some of the same things that everybody else that lived in my city is going through. And I still live in my city. And I still, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I'm not a monolith that just like came out of the ground. Like I've lived in Chicago my whole life. All my cousins, all my friends live in Chicago my whole life. I don't try and promote anything that's like not what I'm on. But like, yeah, there's songs like on my new album, like The Negro Problem, like Burn Your Block, like Drapetomania, that all, you know, deal with reality and what we see and what we go through. But production-wise, it might not be drill. You know what I'm saying? Like my rhythm and how I'm rapping might still sound like me. But what I think of as drill also is like reality rap. Like it's like this what we seeing. This is what's going on. This what I did today. This what I'm finna do if I see you tomorrow. Like type shit.
The creativeness where I really want to kind of open the brain and kind of take me back to, how did you come up with, you know, your album titles, from obviously Coloring Book, Acid, and the projects that you have right now? Please forgive me for not really knowing, but
I like this question.
It's one of them things where it's like, look a little channel from 79. Like I'm a real fan of the body of work.
Yo, thank you, man.
I just hate that I haven't had time to really compress. Like, I gave some quick anecdotes to like, yo, like I'm rocking with the
Drapetomania.
That, talk about that. But prior to, it's like, how do you come up with these titles?
You know what's crazy? For me, my titles come to me a lot of time before the song is done. My team knows that. Like I'll go through, Drapetomania was 3 different beats, 3 different like probably like 6 or 7 different verses over the course of those times with one subject in mind. So I'd be thinking about, I'm always thinking about what is the idea I'm trying to get across. And I could rap on that subject for verses and verses and choruses until I get to what I think is the perfect way for somebody to hear it. Because rap to me is in 2 parts. It's in the lyrics and what I'm getting across, and you know what I'm saying, and what's actually pen and paper being said. You know what I'm saying? And then it's also feeling. Like music is feeling. So most people, when they sit in the car listening to a rap, they not really like thinking about what they're saying. They just thinking about how it feels, the rhythm of that shit, like the attitude of it, like what vibe it is. And so I sometimes, because I'm such a lyrics-based rapper, I'll spend a long time just writing a rap, and then I'll listen to it back. And I'm like, I'm saying shit, but I don't feel this. Like this don't feel good. And so that shit'll get changed and changed and changed. But the thing that'll stay the same is the title. Like the title will be the driving force. I think even for my projects, like I come up with my project titles before I got all the raps. Like 10 Day was my first project under the name Chance the Rapper. And it was named after the 10-day suspension that I got from high school for having weed. Like acid rap, before I made all the songs, I was like, this shit gonna be called acid rap. Before I did Coloring Book. Well, no, that's actually not true. That's actually probably the only one that I came up with the title a lot later. But in Atlanta, I did come up with that shit in Atlanta. Damn, that's crazy. I made the cover art. We shot the No Problems video. I used to stay in Atlanta. Like this was my second home. That's the thing for Chicago people though. Like there's a lot of similarities culturally with Chicago. It's definitely more black people here, but in terms of just like culture, how we do business, music, like, and y'all got a lot of things. They got a lot of things down here that we don't have. Y'all got a lot of studios, movie studios, like, just easier everything. Y'all just don't got no water. Y'all don't got no lake. That's what y'all need.
We got lakes.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not even gonna say nothing about y'all lake. You know what I'm saying?
Please don't, cause that's very
respect. You know what I'm saying? God bless.
Boy, Lake Lanier, boy, got more bodies than Chicago in the summer, boy. I swear. And I say that respectfully.
Respect to the
golly, that was a bar though. Like, but it's like, God, I think too, like, why are you talking, like, how did you, this project that you've been working on, right? Like, boom, acid rap, but even to Coloring Book, and then, what is it, New Day?
Big Day?
Big Day, I'm sorry. Big Day, and then boom.
Starline. So the Starline joint, it started when I was in, I went to Ghana, West Africa. So I went out there, I was going through some shit. I'm like, man, I need to take my mind off it. I hit my homie Vic Mensa. He's like,
and shout out to Vic. Vic a very solid guy, bro.
Nah, he's good. It's crazy. So I grew up with Vic. I know Vic since we was 14. We did open mics together. We used to, rap together. Like, this is my counterpart through rap. Like, cause we grew literally
real friend.
Yeah, we've been jumped together. Like, this my nigga for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, this my ace. So
you straight.
We gonna write a great rap about this one day. Nah. But that's my homie. So like Vic is half Ghanaian. So his family is from Africa. So at the time, I'd been to South Africa for like a day to do a show, but I had never been to Ghana. So I hit him up, I'm like, yo, I'm dealing with these different things. Like, I just need to take my mind off it. I'm seeing pictures of you out there at clubs and in skyscrapers and shit. I ain't never seen nothing like this or knew anything about this in Ghana. So I wanna see that. I wanna just take my mind off shit. So I came out there with him. And really, I was going out there to have fun. It was lit. Like, they have hella clubs. They be going to the club at 7 a.m. type shit. Like, Ghana is insane. They go to the club at 6 a.m. Like, they nights be starting at like 2, and they'll hit 2 clubs starting at 2. And then the real club, Polo Beach Club, 7 a.m. It's niggas walking in, the sun is coming up.
We have to, like, for me, that's when I sit everybody down or stop the car. Hey, fellas. Ladies, what's the ultimate goal here? I know what my intentions are and why I go to the club. Okay, I don't drink. Okay, give me a cigar. I'm good. All right. They don't sell fine wine in the club. All right. Us going to this club at 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m.
It just be lit.
That's cool.
That's cool.
But our intentions are in different places, and it's like 7 a.m. is round 2. Fight.
I hear you.
Like, it's not trying to go get sweaty.
That's what it's about. They call it Daddy December. It's damn near about being sweaty. Like, motherfuckers is going there to get sweaty. So everybody, for all black people, not all black people, but a lot of black people from different countries, even that's not Ghanaian, go around like December, January time, and they'll spend like they holiday, like their Christmas through New Year's there. And it's literally just lit. Like, it looks like the whole city of Accra is like a festival. And I'm not trying to like tell everybody to go to Accra, but the reason why I loved it so much was because on the side of me doing all this lit shit, they got a lot of history, a lot of our history that we don't know about. And I'm not talking about like slave trade history. I'm talking about like revolutionary, like crazy history. The dude who freed Ghana, like, who became their first president, like, he was like an international icon in the 70s. Like, he in a lot of ways influenced the civil rights movement over here. Like, it's a lot of recent history that we just don't be knowing about. So when I went out there, started learning about him, started learning about Marcus Garvey, started learning about black entrepreneurship, shit like that. And I'm just like, damn, like, I need to like take this knowledge and platform it. And I could not figure out a way. And then I remembered that I'm like the best rapper of all time. And I'm like, I could put this on pen to paper and create this community through this album. And I started working on that in 2022. And it ended up turning into the Starline thing.
Congrats to that, bro. I can't wait to really properly like download this.
It's a deep one. It's compact.
No, and I respect you as an artist. Not a lot of artists get the you got my full attention. You know what I'm saying? You're one of those, individuals. And I'm not just saying that just because you're here. What I am saying is, it's like, is it a lost art I'm hearing this process of you creating music, creating 7 different verses, like, no, that's not me. Hey, I write and I do certain things. There's an era, a time where folks was just so against writing and properly making music and having, certain processes fall in play, right? Yeah. How has that process been for you?
It's like, it is weird because I feel like my introduction to hip hop, when I first started liking it, I was listening to people that I found to be lyricists. I liked what their words were. And over time, like, the more you get into hip hop, you realize like the most commercial or the most successful, or even sometimes the stuff that you like the most is less quote unquote lyrical. It's less pointed towards a specific
surface level kind of talk.
Yeah. But that's also music, period. You know what I'm saying? Across any genre. Like, if you think about a random famous song, it's either about love lost, you know what I'm saying, or just trying to go to the club, like in any genre. And that's what I think people typically want to hear when they out, is like something that is a little surface. But I don't know, I grew up around poets. I grew up around like, niggas that really loved rap, you know what I'm saying? And so I think for me, that's just always been my style. That's why it always takes me a long time to make songs, is because I be like really thinking about it from a perspective of like, what am I writing down? I used to, when I was a kid, I used to sit in the computer lab. I don't know if people have computer class, but at my school we had a class called computer, which I don't know why the fuck we had a class called computer. That shit was computer. We wasn't learning shit, but we had a computer class, and we were supposed to be doing projects and learning the fucking Oregon Trail or whatever. And I would just be on this website called AZ Lyrics, and I used to just be looking up lyrics and printing them out. And I'd go home and I'd just practice the lyrics, and I'd learn people's verses, and I'd just memorize them. I'd just be rapping and rapping and rapping and rapping. And that was like, that's how I see rap. I see it as the written word. I don't see it, I love the feeling. Like I was talking about the two sides, it's feeling and it's words, but I always gravitate towards words, how somebody says something, how somebody decided to put something out, and what's the phonetics of it, what words start with the same letter, or like how many rhyme words is it in between, and just like, have I heard somebody say this shit before? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's how I still look at it, but just on a reality side, you still need that feeling. Like, you still need people to just want to ride to it. Like, you don't want to just hear a nigga talking to you.
The one thing that I do want to kind of harp on is independence, right? And who gave you that notion to say, like, bro, You can do it yourself, produce it yourself, create it yourself, fund it yourself, and recoup it yourself. What's the pro, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with the pro first. And who got you to that point?
You know who got me to that point in a lot of ways, I would say, is Mac Miller. Like, I went on my first tour ever with Mac Miller. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. I went on my first tour ever with Donald Glover in 2012 when he was rapping under the Childish Gambino name. It's one of his first tours. And he brought me out on the road. That was after I put out 10 Days. So a lot of people didn't know me that well. But off of that, I started getting a lot of label offers. Like, a lot of people was, and also because, like I said, Keith had the city blowing up, so like they was trying to sign everybody. And I took a lot of those meetings. I went and like sat down with people, and they was offering me 200 grand, 300 grand, you know, for multiple albums. Just shit that was really not, you know what I'm saying, not it. And I didn't take those deals, but I would let them send them to me. And you and I both know, like, when somebody sends you a contract, you got to pay your lawyer just for reading that shit. And I didn't have the money at the time, so I told the lawyer to tell all the labels that were sending offers not to send me anything until my next project comes out. And I was right about to drop my project, and I got asked by Mac Miller to go on tour with him. And I didn't make a lot of money, but being around him, understanding like his, you know, how he controlled his team, how he, and not control like in a like demeaning way, but just how he moved. Yeah. How he supported himself, and just like getting that exposure, being opening for this tour, being in front of like 3,000 people a night and being able to do my shit right on the heels of dropping this new project, Acid Rap. Like, it really boosted me to get more shows, to be able to make some more money. And then by the time Acid Rap blew up, now I'm like, I don't really need to sign a deal. I'm about to go on my own tour and make this much money. I'm about to make $1 million off of just going on tour. I'm about to make this off of just, you know what I'm saying, off of this doing a Dockers commercial or whatever. Like, I'm making the money, and I still haven't given nobody the rights to my masters, or like, you know what I'm saying, signed nothing yet. So now I'm starting to think like, I'm gonna just hold out. I'm gonna just keep getting that money up, like making the offers come in crazier and crazier. And I feel like I didn't even really start using the term independent or indie until maybe a couple months after I was done with that tour with Mac. Like, but at that point I was like, man, I'm still figuring it out. You know, I'm a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm, you know, having fun, running around, and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then eventually I was like, oh, I think I could just do this.
Well, first off, rest in peace to Mac Miller.
Absolutely.
A person who's definitely been a pioneer. And I just hate certain times for people, you don't get, or they don't see their flowers until they're gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's extremely important for people to know that they're loved, they're appreciated, and, you know, while they're here.
100%.
Now, the cons to being independent, right?
A lot, right?
I've had numerous conversations with people about the business of music, and it's very murky. But certain things that you do hear with signing with major labels is like, yo, the exposure is crazy. Like, you go from a local, you know, star to a global star. But at the same time, one thing that is unanimous, whether indie or a major, you have to properly channel your money.
Yeah.
How is that managing, or what are the other cons to?
It's hard, man. Because like I said, it's like you are the business and you are the person. You know what I'm saying? You're the manager and the talent. You charting your own path and making your own decisions, but you're also dealing with all of those wins and those losses. And so it could feel lonely. It could feel tough. It feels like you always on a campaign to get people to care, to get people to invest, to get people to, you know, to take time out of their day and go to your show or go to your whatever. And that shit is taxing. But I think where the misconception is with the labels, you know, or with indies, is like, nothing is coming to you. Like, nobody is going to just be your fan. You know what I mean? Like, whether you make good music or not, whether you promote it well or not, whether you, like, it's really just up to, you know, how other people feel. And I think sometimes people think with the label that as soon as you sign, that you are their number one focus or the star player. You on their roster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big team. Like, you have no idea how many artists are signed to any given label, like, that are stuck in a weak-ass deal and never got to put out a project because it's just shelved. You know what I'm saying? Or artists that did so much for a label, but they, you know what I'm saying, like, at a certain point, the label decided that they needed to promote somebody else's album that's coming out or that is making a comeback or is doing whatever. So at the end of the day, a lot of artists that are successful on a label, like, they'll tell you that they love a lot of them will tell you that they love their label, but a lot of the work that they had to do still came from having a publicist, having good lawyers, having a good team, a good merch people, good whatever it is. Like, it's still all these other things that a label at a certain point used to control all of those things. And now I think people are smart enough to realize they got to outsource those other things. But I think it's just an old system. Like, the reason why it's record labels is because niggas used to print records, like vinyl. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the people that owned the first record labels was people that had bought a vinyl company or bought a whole bunch of them, so that they were the people that you had to go to.
Cornering the market.
But now we just saw the NFC thing. You don't need a record to listen to a song. So it's like the idea of somebody, a part of it was they were pressing your records and they were paying for your recording costs. You could record on your computer. You don't need to press a record. So what is and I don't always be trying to go on these campaigns because I'll be having to still work with the labels to clear artists to be on my album. But I'm just saying, like, for all the different changes that we went through as an industry, all the different artists that we seen, seemingly kind of get killed by their labels. Yeah. Like, why would that still be the practice or the general idea?
The common issue that I hear, right, is there's a constant in any type of dynamic or situation. I deal with it with content, and there's a lot of similarities with dare I try to compare, but there's similarities with being independent and creating content, and there's also being, independent with, being an artist. And the commonality is everybody's fighting for labor favor. It's like, bro, like me, bro. I'm you got this dude or you got her, she ain't me. And it's like, you don't get to tell somebody else what they rock with and rock to, and instead of fighting for favor from a label, it should be more or less like, yo, I'm gonna earn your ear from the streets where it's like, yo, you're gonna become a fan. Hey, have your phone lick this CD and then boom, and then it's that type of situation.
That's how I came up. So all the people that I grew up with, we used to all be in these after school programs for kids that like to rap and like to do poetry and shit. And you come and you do like an open mic, or they have a talent show, or they'll have like, some sort of showcase. And what I would do is I would go to those things with my friends, perform, try and have my friends turn up the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Afterwards, we'd be passing out CDs for free on the street. So I've been street teaming since I was 14 or 15 years old with my friends. Like, I know how to get out and work a project for me or my friend.
For sure.
And that's, to this day, I got people that'll send me, like, on Twitter, like, but take a photo of like a CD with my handwriting on it that I passed them out in 2011 or 2010, like on the street passing out CDs. Because I used to just write my Twitter and like the name Tende on my projects, and people would follow me. But the point I'm making is just that, like, that personal connection, like, getting to meet, a person and tell them, like, hey, fuck with me, fuck with my music. And then them getting home and for whatever reason actually listening to it and actually vibing with it. Like, that connection is crazy. Damn, you just gave me something for free, or you gave me something for a low cost that I use in my everyday life now. I listen to this. I live my life to this. Like, now we locked in forever. Whenever you got a show in this city, whenever you got a little t-shirt dropping, I'm rocking with you. And that's what, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing that the labels can't really offer. They can't offer that person's personality, like, or that person's time to be everywhere. There's some people that's artists that don't like people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing.
No, they're introverted.
People. Yeah, they're introverted. They love making music. They love sharing their music, but they don't want to be in a meet and greet all day. They don't want to walk, you know what I'm saying, go to all the press or do a bunch of stuff. And I think if you want a label, sometimes it's tough because the label's either going to push you out to do that kind of stuff, and that might not be your vibe or your real brand, or you know what I'm saying, like they might have somebody who is super outgoing and is super like their personality is they thing, and they'll reel that person in or put them in a specific market on a path that's not like best for who they are. That's why I just think it's good for niggas to be able to choose what they want to do. What it's called self-determination. You're supposed to be able to be like, this is what I want to do. I want to drop an album that's just me whispering. Like whatever it is, you should be able to do.
There's two things here, and I'm so intrigued, right? And I always have to make this disclaimer that like I created Funky Friday out of the back of a car. And this was an outlet for me to be able to show me in a lens that was different than just football. And when you're talking about this independent thing, there's two things that kind of like jump out. When you have a hand-to-hand transaction, right, where you're giving away things for free, how do you get money from that though? Like what's the return on your investment? Because it costs to do everything. It costs to print the CDs out. I don't care if you're burning it on LimeWire, you know what I'm saying, or BearShare or whatever, it's still costing. How does that?
You have to differentiate between promotion and sales. So you always have marketing, which is going to be a cost, and then you have to decide for yourself a projection on how much money you're going to make back on that. And then you have your sales, which could be the direct product, or it could be something that's considered a promotional product too. So for example, my music at one point was the promotional tool. So I made the music. I had my brother L Boogie from Chicago used to record me for the super cheap out of his crib. We made a whole project called 10 Day. I burnt those CDs. My dad paid for the CDs to get made. It wasn't like an album cover or anything on it, but we printed out. We got the little CD sleeves, the little paper CD sleeves.
The see-through?
Yeah, the see-through joint. And then we printed out these joints and put the little cover art in the front that my homie Brandon Bro painted. And then I wrote on all the CDs. And we would go to different high schools, Lane Tech, Brooks, Jones, Kenwood, really all over. And me and my homies, my people that are still my friends to this day, would stand outside of the schools and wait till people got out and pass out the CDs. And the sale was gonna be the show. So then we threw a show at this place called Reggie's Rock Club and sold that bitch out. It was like 500 people, but it was Lincoln Hall. Sold that bitch out, hella people, like 500 people. And that word of mouth traveled, and then we sell the merch. So in that situation, the music is promotional. The sale is the merch or a tour or, or just your personality to be able to then carry other brands and get like some sort of sponsorship. If it's a product that you're interested in and you fuck with their politics, then you could do other things that becomes a sale. But I feel like sometimes when it's the label or when it's somebody that's not an artist or a creative, they only see the music as the product. So they trying to sell the CD more than they trying to sell the other things around it. And then it's like, okay, once you start trying to put a value on art, people start to have a different like vibe or feeling to it. So my CD's so cheap, it's $8. Like I got the cheapest CD on the market, and my shit got 3 other abilities: the NFC, like the artwork of it, like the collectability, and that's all like the smallest part of the product. I'm doing this in a way that I could try and get it to as many people as possible, so that then when I go on tour, then when I drop a shirt or I drop a hat, you know what I'm saying, then people want to fuck with it.
And he like it's so warming to hear your business. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of cats, they just expect other people to do the job that you're supposed to know.
Yeah, you're supposed to know, yeah.
And I think being independent, that's one of the things you have to know these
things.
Business,
yeah.
The second question that I had was this. Some people may admit it, but I'm going to be the realist to say, like, I am extremely, who was it that said? Erykah Badu said it. I'm sensitive about my shit, man.
Fact.
And you're having such face-to-face interactions where it's like, yo, bro, holla at me, dog. Like, boom, this me. Chant, nigga, who?
Yeah.
You from Chicago? Like, what? You ain't got no tattoos on your face, nigga. And then, like, the response isn't what
Yeah, I got trained in that early. So, like I was saying, I used to do showcases at the DuSable Museum. I used to do, you know what I'm saying, like talent shows at the at Room 43 or Room 47? Room 43. I used to do like True Star Magazine pop-up showcases. Like people in Chicago know the stuff that I'm saying. They're gonna be like, damn, Chance D used to be in that shit.
In there.
Yeah, I used to be in the what you would call the Chicago chitlin circuit. Like I've been through all of the different moments of like what our version of the Apollo Theater is. Like I've faced all of that at a young age, and I think anybody, especially people that you see get on as child stars, or we could just call them young, like anybody that got on when they had a teen in their age, like we faced harsh criticisms from strangers and adults at a very young age, and we've learned in certain ways to how to deal with that widespread criticism. But also, I think a lot of us are a little bit fucked up in the head, like a little bit like
delusional.
Oh, delusional towards greatness, but also sometimes misguided in our efforts in finding love, because we felt the love of a room of people at your 5th grade talent show doing a standing ovation because you impersonated Michael Jackson. Like that's my story. Like I had moments on stage where I felt a love that I chased forever. And I think a lot of parts of this album, some of the more parts that are more like talking inwardly about me, I'm discussing like my issues with how I find love, the reason why I be out so much, the reason why I always want to like perfect my music, or the reason why I always take it so seriously when anybody got something negative to say about my shit, is because like I grew up looking for that sort of adulation, like from the perspective of one little kid looking at a room full of 50 adults and shit, you know what I'm saying? Either getting booed or getting a standing ovation, but either way, like that's how my brain was developed. I went on tour for the first time when I was 19 with Childish Gambino. I had my first legal drink when I was 19 because I was on tour. And I grew up around people that were slightly older than me that already, like, if you want to talk about people that know their business, Donald Glover knows business. Like, he was the person that told me to get a business manager. Like, he showed me so much shit and was such a he had such a controlled environment in terms of, like, his brother, his cousin, his friends is all the people that's working on tour with him. That's why my shit is the way that it's set up now. It's like, but I'm watching, you know, a lot of my peers or other elders like live a certain way, get to a certain level. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a kid, so I'm just soaking up certain parts over time, taking certain, you know, behaviors out, adding new ones. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I feel like we all. It's tough. Like I still deal with like, it's still tough sometimes dealing with criticism just because I'm an artist, right? And I put time into my shit, but also I have a little bit thicker skin because you know what I'm saying? I've been getting on stages since I was a really little kid.
This has to be said, like you're probably one of very few people that are the poster child of independence. Chance is the first independent artist to win a Grammy without selling physical copies of his music. And with that, it's like you got folks that are signed to the labels for years, and it may be good for them, right? Or what they want, and they don't even have Grammys, right? And if you're talking about any commodity, your resume is important. Your accolades, your superlatives is important. That just gives you validation for why you are who you are. Take me through this, like growing up with a family, heavy involved in politics. How did the environment shape your view on responsibility and leadership?
My dad and my mom both worked in politics. My mom for a much shorter time, but my dad always was like politically active, and I think that comes from my grandmother. So my grandmother, and I didn't find this out till I started working on this album, but my grandmother used to be super radical. She used to work with Stokely Carmichael and be organizing with, you know what I'm saying, Young Panthers in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? She had all her kids volunteering on when Harold Washington, the first black mayor of Chicago, ran. Like, she was just always like active. And Chicago's just a political city. So, you know what I'm saying? From segregation to redlining to, You know what I'm saying? Like just the fact that we have a large black population that came from the South during the Great Migration,
Right.
it's always like some politically active shit going on. So I feel like I learned from my parents at a young age that I'm supposed to care about what's happening on the news. I learned from my dad. My dad was the block club president for, you know what I'm saying, many years when I was a kid, that I'm supposed to know all my neighbors, that I'm supposed to just be a person in the community. I think I learned a lot about campaigning from them too, specifically from my dad, just like how to, they call it shamelessly promote, like how to get out in front of people and be like, this what I'm on. I like from this project, I got people phone banking. Like, you know what phone banking is? That's when you go to a place and they give you a list of numbers and you call people and you say, hey, I'm woo woo and I want to see if you want to buy Chance the Rapper's album. Like he's an independent artist from Chicago. Woo 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 woo. Facts.
John A, we're doing that with
You know what
phone
I'm saying?
banking.
That's a tactic that like,
It's telemarketing.
yeah, 100%. But with a product that you're familiar with, with, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we either go out of like a fan bank number that we have, of fans that gave us their number at some point, or we go with our actual friends. People just go out of their phone. But I learned that when I was a kid doing phone banking, because I was the cheapest labor my dad could find to help on the campaigns that he was working on for people. I understand a certain level of like going to the people, being organic, being myself, you know what I'm saying? Contextualizing my words and standing on what I say. Like all of that stuff I learned just watching my dad run people's campaigns. But I think on just a level of responsibility, I gotta go back to my grandmother. You know, my great grandmother marched with King. Like my whole family on my dad's side was always, I don't even say politically active, but just like, you know what I'm saying, present in the movement.
Yeah.
And my mother's side too, they from North Carolina, so they just always was like the kind of black folks that wasn't going for nothing. Like, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was always very opinionated. She don't like let nobody play with her, whoever they are. And like, I just kind of like, I feel like I get both worlds with that.
Interesting fact too that I found out with prepping is your brother is an artist as well too. Like, well, two things here is like when you really said, hey, I'm doing this, but also when your brother says, hey, I'm doing this too. Like what? Like,
you know what's weird? The weird thing is I made my brother be a rapper. Like, we talk about this every once in a while. Like, when we was kids, we could tell you, like, we used to make that nigga rap. And, like, because we used to just be like, I don't know what it is, but, like, and maybe no kids do this, maybe all kids do this, but we used to just always be trying to cipher, trying to beatbox.
No, that's the real thing.
It's like, yeah, it's like, I didn't know if it was just...
Get on the beat, bro, get on the beat, get on the beat, get on the beat. Turn it down something, I really know this song, I ain't trying to...
We literally was always trying to make Taylor rap. He's the youngest out of all of us. And basically... It's funny, when he started rapping, I was super, super happy, but I also was like, damn, like my brother also was with me when I was just telling these stories about going to high schools and passing out CDs. Who do you think was with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously my friends, but my brother gotta go with me. Yeah. So for that point in time, I was like, damn, like my brother's gotta look out for his own thing. And then in 20 or 21, my brother came onto my team. So he raps and does his own thing, and he just dropped a single, I think 2 weeks ago, but he also manages me. Like, my brother is a part of my management team.
Y'all intertwined for sure. There's no denying, while listening to just even your whole musical evolution, you have a way with religion. Right? Yeah. It's like you'll be rapping your tail off, just like golly, but then you'll have a song, How Great Is My Life. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a song called it's so much rich religion in your rap. Did you grow up in church? What was that dynamic?
No, totally. I super grew up in church. Like, I mean, I didn't go to Wednesday night Bible study and stuff like that, but what I did do was my auntie Carolyn, who passed away last year, my favorite auntie in the world. Oh, damn, I just damn near got worked up. That's crazy. My auntie Carolyn started, or ran, my great-grandmother started it, but my auntie Carolyn, since I was a kid, ran this vacation Bible school that was the most lit summer camp that you could go to in Chicago. Basketball, everything. And I spent all my summers, or a lot of my summers, at the church. And so, you know what I'm saying, like just based off of that, I'm saying, like, my auntie, both of my aunts, not so much my grandmother, but both of my aunts and like a lot of my family was super involved in my church growing up. So it wasn't that I wasn't in the choir. I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, going up to the church every day of the week, but my summers were spent in church a lot. And I think like when I got older, like, and moved to LA and had like a, you know what I'm saying, flew a little bit too close to the sun, I was like, I need to like go back to my basics. I need to go back to like inwardly. And I started listening to gospel. Again, I would wake up every morning and play Kirk Franklin as loud as I could off my balcony, just to like clean house, just to feel like, you know what I'm saying, purge all this wicked shit that was around me. And then like a month or two later, my dad came and helped me move all my shit back to Chicago. And I started working on coloring book. And that was like a lot of the time that I was listening to music, if it wasn't what I was literally rapping to and making, I was listening to Fred Hammond, Donnie McClurkin, Kirk Franklin, the Clark sisters, like, you know what I'm saying? The gospel, not necessarily contemporary gospel, but like the shit that we grew up at when I was going to summer camp.
It's crazy, and I don't want to.
Let's go to.
I don't want to be toxic, bro, but it went down at Vacation Bible School, bro.
Nigga, what? That's so crazy.
I'm sorry for the toxicity.
I knew what you were gonna say, but I still didn't know you was gonna say that. That is so crazy.
I'm trying to like.
Oh my God.
First off,
is it like that for everybody?
I just want to let y'all know the God that I serve know my heart. And
yo, I am dead.
I just want to make sure that I ain't stepping on nobody's toes, but I just got to keep it funky.
Oh my God.
Vacation Bible School, it went digital. Man,
digital is crazy.
You could go there and get a workout, get a sweat, learn about your faith, all the while getting your first kiss.
There you go. That's perfect. Let's leave it right there.
Man. And your first crush.
Okay, cool. We still on a roll.
Oh, it's like Cottonelle.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's like, yo, it's like, who is that? Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. It's like, yo, but who is that though? Like, you know the disciples, baby?
I definitely had my first love at Vacation Bible.
What was her name?
Essence. I'm bogus. She's married. But I was saying I was a kid.
Yes.
But yeah.
You know what's so crazy? And me and my lady, we always tease about this. It's so, bro, I knew nothing about your childhood. I know nothing about a lot of people's childhood. But it's crazy how we have a lot of similarities about childhood that it's like, y'all had that too? It's like, dang, y'all had that too? You all the way in Chicago with yours, and I'm all the way in Atlanta with mine, and it's like, boom. Certain things kind of happen where it's like, it's just gonna be.
That is, it's the same across
Let's get off the street real quick. it can get real hard, but fun at the same time. We gonna keep it there. Now, my question is, do you think Chicago gets the reputation or is respected as much as it should be?
No, I don't think it gets the respect that it should on like in terms of what we contributed to the world, what we continue to contribute. Like, people don't talk about it, but so much of music, period, came out of Chicago, like across the board. And whether you're talking about the blues, gospel, like black gospel as we know it, Mahalia Jackson came to Chicago. We got, you know what I'm saying, rock when it comes to Chess Records and Muddy Waters, and you know what I'm saying, and then techno music, like all the people that's in Germany and like that love like, you know, digital music, like ghetto tech, juke, house music, all that stuff was coming out of Chicago. And Detroit, always give love to Detroit for they jitting, whatever they be doing. But like the truth is, like, a lot of musical cultural movements came out of Chicago. And then, like I was just saying, politically, some of the like most important riots, revolutions, reforms.
This is a revolutionary. Like,
that's us. Like Fred Hampton.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of people don't really know where these people originated from. Yeah. Because when I think about like impact, right, especially from the black diaspora, right, you think about New York, you think about LA, you think about Atlanta, you know, and other cities alike. But when you're talking about Chicago, Chicago can hold its own. We talk about fashion. I mean, obviously what Kanye and Don C, Virgil, like those guys, cultural impact, obviously talking about the Black Panther chapters and things like that. Music, you got Kanye, you got Common, Dirk, King Von, rest in peace, Chief Keef, R. Kelly, Shaka Khan, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Twister, obviously yourself. Politics, can't forget, you know, Barack Obama. Like, man, y'all can compete.
No, that's why I still live there. It's not just because it's easy and my grandma lived there. It's like because it's lit. Like Chicago is always lit.
Yeah.
And it's always something fun happening. You know, we have our troubles just like every city does, but like my everything is there. So all the cool shit that people come into town for, you know what I'm saying? Black Boat Week, the Taste, Lollapalooza, Aaron Waters show, all that stuff, like I can go do that whenever I want to. But then also like my real family, my real friends, everybody, not everybody, there's a lot of people that move to Houston and Atlanta and Florida and stuff like that, but in LA, but like most of my friends for the most part still live in Chicago. And so I could just always go and feel like regular in the sense of like, not even regular, like, oh, I just need to feel normal, but like just like fun, like going and having fun and going and doing real, you know, being around real cultural like things. It's like, I don't know. It's not really too many cities that I compare to. I love Atlanta. That's like another city that I'd be feeling like, that's why I spend so much time down here, is because it's like I can sense a familiarity. I relate to it, yeah.
Just the thoughts of where Kanye is right now. All right, do you guys still have a relationship? What has that been? I think even in your music, it was in search of his approval, right? It was like, yo, I made Jesus walk. I never, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going to hell.
Yeah.
Like those things, it's like, to see him.
Yeah.
How does that impact you?
Kanye was the first, or Ye was the first rapper that I listened to and was like, I want to rap. I want to get this album. I want to dress like this dude. I want to act like this dude. I think everybody that's a rapper, probably just everybody that loves rap music, has that first artist that you come across that's like, they just different. Like
Instantly.
they just raw. They just cold. Like, and you like, this is what I fuck with. This aligns with how I see myself. And you know what I'm saying? Typically they be from your city. So just imagine if that was Kanye, like if you and you was a rapper and you got to meet them and you got to work with them and you got to do the intro for their album and write on stuff and do all these things. So it's like I have like different like understanding of him as a person than I feel like most people do.
Do you still have a relationship with him?
Yeah, somebody just asked me that the other day. The way that I think about it is like, yeah, like if I think the way that I love people is like, I think somebody is my friend until they like it has to be some sort of ultimate betrayal. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
with you though.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
So like I feel like there's like a
betrayal with you guys is dynamic, not necessarily. Well, it could be. I don't want to speak for you, but
I don't even really have rules for how I like look at friends. But what I was saying is like I don't have to talk to somebody for like consistently for me to love them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to see them consistently to love them. Like I could love somebody from afar.
Yeah.
I could root for somebody from afar. I could, you know what I'm saying, be there from afar. And I think like it's not even on some like I'm waiting for Kanye to hit me up or like you know what I'm saying? I'm really just like I think I've been working on this album like intently for a while and just dealing with life as a regular person. There's people that I see every day that like I'm there for them in their lives on an everyday basis that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? There's
means to this question, and I don't mean to be, murky, but I think oftentimes when you're in the public eye, we've used this term before, you may not realize the weight of your voice, right? You may not understand like, what that person did was what that person did, but that still doesn't impact what that person did for me and what that person means to me. What's the hardest part about voicing your opinion when people are tuned in to what you have to say?
I was just saying this yesterday. Like, there are conversations and arguments or, sides to like everything, every piece of media that gets pushed out to us. And what they use is people, celebrities, as like characters basically to draw up this similar argument that's happening all the time. An issue that we have, whatever it is, like there's usually some underlying conversation that's going on. And then you get a celebrity figure or two celebrity figures that you push out as a story. And it allows people to have like a controversial moment in the comments of like how they feel about this person or their actions or whatever the like I said, that underlying conversation is. And what I've realized over time is like, it's kind of like using those people as a pawn to get to a deeper conversation. And when you feel like you a person in that situation, it's like, it could be, I think it's just hard because you feel like people are commenting on your life or feel like people are taking something that was said about you in a media piece to, to demonstrate this way larger point, but you just doing this or you just are being yourself type shit. And I think like in a lot of cases, I recognize that I represent or speak to or have an audience of like a lot of people, and I always want to do right, and I always want to say the right thing, and I always want to be the right person, and also be myself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm not always going to be right, but I will always know what my morals are and how I was raised.
For sure.
And so I think like at certain points, you might be asked to, speak on something or speak on someone to make a larger point about something that's like completely separate from you, and then feel the weight of like how you're supposed to, in all your rights and all your morals, how you're supposed to attack this or what you're supposed to say. And like, in reality, we just humans. Like, I'm a person that's gonna, always stand up for what I think is right. And, but I'm also not like, I'm not the person that decides what's right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody needs my, word on something not being good or being okay for them to know what's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
It's relatable because being a public figure, you're always asked questions where it's a pressure, because indirectly what people are doing or why people are asking the question, they want you to choose a side.
Yeah.
And while you're choosing that side, it may come with scrutiny, it may come with backlash, it may come with being the unpopular pick or the unpopular topic of saying, and then you then get judged or perceived for that. And it's like, you gonna do that too.
Yeah.
And it's tricky times.
I think it's still within like the concept of like being a spokesman for something or being a representing brand on whether something is okay or not. And it's not really even about the person, it's about actions or about words. And I feel like for me, I know like what are the important things for me to press upon people. And I press upon it in my music. Mm-hmm. If I'm on some the Negro problem is about medical malpractice. And it's something that like we don't really get to talk about all the time. But Black women have the toughest times in hospitals, whether it's for a regular checkup, dealing with pains, or going through, maternity. Yeah. And that's like that's like a subject of my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Daquan passed away a week ago, from a medical malpractice. My auntie that I was just talking about, she passed away last year because they fucked up her tracheotomy. And I've seen this shit happen to a lot of people that don't have means, don't have insurance, don't have the understanding of how to even file a malpractice lawsuit or the confidence in themselves to basically take up for their family members. And that's the kind of thing that I want to always be able to talk about, rap about, and then organize in real life about.
Yeah.
And I think like when we become celebrities, it's like not only are we supposed to represent brands and like advertise shit to people so that people could be consumers, but then we also get put in positions where we have to like, you know, speak on shit that really don't got shit to do with us in order to like to create more sides to a conversation or more people being, you know, this way or that way. Like I'm always gonna be clear on what the things are that I believe, but I'm also gonna always try and like make sure that I speak on the things that are important, like the things that are like, you know, affecting the people that I know, like the people that I'm with every day.
Yeah. You know, as you were talking, man, my father has this saying where the two comparables about mishap. A person messes up a car, and that car inevitably ends up in a junkyard. A person messes up on a person, that goes wrong. That mishap leaves that person in the graveyard. So there's definitely something that, bro, you can't mess up. And if you do, who's going to be held accountable? In a world where accountability is strong on some suits, right? And I said it multiple times. It's like, how do we hold athletes accountable higher than we hold politicians? And it's weird. It's tricky.
We the facade, yo. We just celebrities. We are not the people that make the big decisions.
Yeah.
And I think to a certain extent, celebrity is used like that as a shield for like the actual happenings that are going on in the world. Like of course it's easier to hold an athlete, you know, more accountable than a team owner, because the team owner still has a certain level of anonymity or like not being known by people that they can rely on. We always joke about how billionaires be walking around with Skechers and shit. Like you might bump into a nigga at a coffee shop and not know that he owns
the coffee shop.
Snapchat. Yeah. I'm saying bigger than that. Like motherfucking, they might own anything. And they have a certain level of like power, like real spending power, real lobbying or political power. And they have nobody on their ass, like nobody that's pressing them, nobody that's like, what's up with this? But we end up being the faces of things, the faces of music, the faces of sports, the faces of entertainment or news, face of anything negative or anything that's entertainment. And then we get put in positions where we have to be the moral compass or be wrong on something. And I think that that's by design. But that's why I think it's important for us to always be like, oh, we get to decide what we talking about. And a lot of the stuff on this album is like stuff that don't get talked about. And I put it in a perfect way where you could just sit and damn near get brainwashed by that shit, because it just feels good to listen to. But it's not like a thing where you have to like sit with a pen and paper and go through it. You just got to listen to it a couple of times so you could be like, aha, 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 aha. And feel those little moments of like, oh, this applies to me and my auntie. This applies to some shit I just went through last week. Oh, this is what's going on. And just like, I think a deeper level of conversation than, you know, what we typically see people talking about.
Man, I had that moment, like, no glaze, and my kids got me on that.
No glaze.
No glaze. But no, like really tapping into the Chance metaverse. It's like I want to hear the music. I want to go back and listen. And I'm like, where I'm at right now, bro, is literally smoke break.
Smoke break.
We deserve. It's like that whole dialogue with you and Future is just like what we were used to, what we like. I know it's tough for you, it's tough for me too. It's like, boom, like, let's just
chill.
Like it's one of those things. I've always appreciated this about you though, and even on your new project, you always have a hidden gem, right? You always have somebody that's like, yo, like, he hard too, or she hard too. Like, who's an up and coming artist in Chicago or wherever that you like really appreciate their body of work?
There's a couple of them. I don't want to say full body of work because I'm still getting to learn his stuff, but Baby Chief Do It, he's on the album on a song called Drapetomania, and he's been just going crazy. I feel like he's the next big star out of Chicago. Yeah. And a lot of the ladies in Chicago are also going crazy too. Like, I think like there's a lot of artists in this new Chicago. They keep calling it New Chicago, which I hate. but in the new Chicago scene that are going crazy and just like taking over on some like radio and TikTok shit. And then I say it a lot, and now he's kind of like more of a seasoned artist, I would say, but like Tizo Touchdown, I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's hard, man. Like if y'all ever get a chance, listen to Tizo. I've been rocking with Tizo since like 17 or 18, I think. And he just really started coming up. He was on Drake's last album, or maybe 2 albums ago. But he's just a phenomenal writer. Like I love writers, and he doesn't rap that much. Really, he be singing and like playing and stuff. But like, I told you earlier, like I like to just sit down and just think about the words that you used and all the other words you could have used, but you decided not to, and what you referencing and why it's important and when you said what you said. And he's like one of those people whose pen I really, really just. I think he's gonna be one of the like. I'm saying it right now in 2025. I think Tizo's gonna be one of the people we look at later, like on some Prince level shit. Not saying he's Prince at all, but just saying, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, and that's dope that you acknowledge artistry. Being in this creative world, like everybody has a canvas, and nobody's canvas is already pre-drawn on. I think really when you get in your bag, I was having this conversation with my brother, is like, yo, bro, like people feed off of authenticity.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you're authentic and you're true to yourself, like, yeah, it's gonna come with ridicule, but it's also gonna come with respect too and praise. And that's where you get the chef's kiss and the pat on your back. It's one of the things too, while you were doing this body of work with your album, Starline, did you think or take into consideration, like you wanna make a TikTok sensation? Do you wanna make, I heard the melody of like, yo, like this kind of giving me like festival kind of
Bernie Block.
Yeah. But do you think about things as you're creating?
So like I was saying, like I think about the words first on some like, I'm just a rapper. Like I want to say some good, clever words. I want to reference some dead
similes,
poets.
Metaphors,
you know
satire.
Yeah. All of that. Yeah. Alliteration, personification. I love literary devices. But on the other side, feeling is so important, and I love music. And music isn't always about words, it's about feeling. So like I think about where you're gonna listen to stuff. Cause some stuff you gonna wanna listen to at the club, some stuff you're gonna wanna listen to on headphones, some stuff you're gonna wanna listen to driving, some stuff you're gonna wanna listen to running or working out.
Yeah.
And I think like it's also about emotion. Some you're gonna listen to on a bad day, some you're gonna listen to on a good day. You know what I'm saying? Some you gonna only want to play in front of your kids. Some stuff you only want to play in front of adults. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about the spaces that I'm enjoying music. And I was saying earlier, like I named the project after Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line, which was the first ever Black owned and operating shipping company. So they own in the 20s, these Black folks in New York started their own shipping company that moved trade and goods
like
like literally, you know what an ocean liner is? Like the Titanic, like a big ship, not a yacht, super, like the big titanium.
I'm with you. I'm in logistics.
They bought like I think 3 or 4 of them that they, you know what I'm saying, crowdsourced the money for, and did a few voyages to South America and Central America and the islands to move shit like beans and fucking flour and you know goods. And that was like the beginning of the UNIA, which ended up, you know what I'm saying, influencing the NAACP, the King movement, all that stuff. But what was so deep to me is like when I was a kid and I would think of Black people and boats, and a long time ago, that shit turned into slavery for me. Like that shit instantly making me think of people not determining their destiny.
It's given Amistad.
Yeah. But what about what about the more recent history of the fact that it was black folks that controlled trade at one point out of New York? Like, most people don't know that story. And I learned about it, and I learned about all the ripple effects that it made around the world. And I was like, I want to do a voyage like that. I want to take a ride like that. So the whole album, when you play it through front to back, it really feels like you're going on this odyssey, on this trail, on a ride. And I feel like each one of the songs, you got to be able to ride to. You got to be able to, regardless of if it's a headphone song or a by myself song or a for the kids song, it got to play in the whip. I got to feel like I'm going somewhere. And so a lot of the songs, they're lit because sometimes when I'm driving fast. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the songs, they feel good to play when you're with your girl because I like to drive with a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of the songs have certain feelings to them because movement or the movement is going to take like a rhythm or more so than just the words. So all of the words is there. And I think some people might even miss the words because how much shout out to Dex Level, shout out to Peter Cottontail, shout out to Dark Child, shout out to Gabe, shout out my whole team too. Yeah. Like, we really put this together. It's still independent. It's still just like some kids that love music. We're not really kids. We all 30 now, but we all child of God.
You know what I'm saying? As an artist, I oftentimes, want to hear from your perspective with creating music. What's a body of music or a body of work that
influenced me?
Not necessarily influenced you, but oftentimes goes over people's heads. It's like while you're creating it, it's like, yo, I did my big one on this one, but it's just like, yo, y'all didn't get that?
From me, it would be probably either The Big Day or my Merry Christmas Little Mama project. My Merry Christmas Little Mama project, I would merch, is my best project. And nobody would understand me or believe me, but the level of artistry, the level of dedication that we put into making that project and the projects that came after it, like, it ain't really nobody I think that's done that or can do that. Like, and it's like a super underground thing. A lot of people don't know I made I have 2 Christmas collab mixtapes with Jeremiah. And they're cold, like front to back. You don't have to wait. And there's nods coming from the background. Like, it's literally a low key thing that we dropped on some low key shit way back in like 2016, 2017. Yeah. But like, it don't even got to be Christmas. Like, it literally don't got to be Christmas. And I appreciate all these nods, but like, it's literally, that's my best.
That's the hand-to-hand transaction.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that's my best body of work, just because of how compacted, how easy it is to ride to, the lyricism, the themes, like the motifs, everything is in there in a really good way. And I feel like just because it's a Christmas album or how I like presented it, it didn't like go crazy how I wanted it to.
Can I ask you this? Did The Big Day impact your confidence as
Hell yeah. I feel like I was saying that earlier, like when you're an artist, like you might sing in the shower, you might write some raps that you never put out, but like at the end of the day, you publish work, like you put out stuff with the intention, whether people say this or not, of people liking it.
Yeah.
You want people to like, or better yet, you want people to love your music. And I think when I first dropped, or I guess a little while after I dropped, I started to feel this like intense criticism, really only on the internet. And it took me a long time to like to recognize that part. Like, but I felt it so intently that, and it was such a like first time feeling that I was like, I second guessed myself for a second. And I also like, I think there were so many things happening in my life at the same time also, like, that were pulling at me, that it made me like pull back a little bit in terms of my creation, in terms of like my creative output. And again, like you said it the best way, is your confidence. Like, I think what really helped me get out of that was becoming creative again, but in a different, lane. I started working with cameras. I started learning film and learning cinematography, And over time, after getting like my cameras and my lights and doing some video essays, learning basically putting myself through a fake film school. I made
internship.
Yeah, a little internship, like a little like I I realized that I didn't have nothing to shoot, no movies to make or nothing, unless I made a music video. And I made a song called The Heart and the Tongue that was storyboarded by this film idea I had, where I was like, I want to make a video about myself rapping this song, but in the video, I want to be the narrator. Like, I don't want to be the main character. Typically in music videos, the subject or the star is the artist. Yeah. But I don't want this to be a commercial from my face. I want this to be a commercial from my words. So I started using this little thing, or this idea I had was to have my editors put all my text on the screen, put it right in the center, keep all the images to the left or right or upper or bottom thirds, and have, you know what I'm saying, and paint the scene around my text, around my words, and have that be the focal point. So when somebody watches it, they can't help but hear and feel what I'm saying. And everything else is a secondary thought. It's kind of like framing it. So composition is like the biggest part. Composition and lighting, but composition to me is the biggest part of cinematography, and building a shot and making it look like a painting where somebody could focus on the middle but still get whatever is in the peripheral is like something I really just started studying. And once I made that song and that video and put it out to be like, look at how good this video was, everybody was like, nah, look at how good them raps is, nigga. Keep rapping, nigga. And I had to keep rapping and keep making videos. And I told you, 2022, I went out to Africa, got some of that knowledge, came back, and I just like every day went to work on either a song or a video.
That's dope. I want to get into fatherhood, right? You have a music that you've put out before and mentioning my daughter looked just like Sia. You can't see her, and so like. It's like, golly, that will force somebody to go on Google. They'd be like, Chance the Rapper's daughters, like, boom. Like, how is that? Like, what version of you do they get that the world may not know?
Man, they get the best me. Like, just think about how good I am at rapping. Now imagine me as a dad. No, I'm just going, I've been blessed enough to have, in my opinion, which is a good opinion to have, the best dad ever. Like my dad's I love you. I'm gonna tell you every day I love you. And I'm gonna beat your ass. And I'm gonna come up to the school. And I'm gonna know all the teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna introduce you to the people you need to know. And I'm gonna make you learn the things on your own that you need to learn on your own. Like that's the type of dad I got. My dad is a father to a lot of my friends. My dad is a father to a lot of people in the community that I don't even know. People tell me to this day, like, yo, your dad gave me my first job. Your dad the hospital was fucking with my mom. Your dad called up to the hospital and got this shit straight. Like my dad is that kind of person. And so I learned so many things about how to be present in my kids' lives from him. I try and always present my best self. I try not to ever think about it as something I have to do. You know, like they be saying, don't think what you have to do or like what you got to do, but what you get to do. Like, cause I be tired. My kids got a lot of energy. Like they both, you know, are turned up, and I got obviously be working a lot. So I try and be as present as possible. I try not to like take pictures or do no extra Chance the Rapper shit when I'm around them. And I feel like what they get from me, what I try and give them is like the most genuine, softest version of myself, because they girls, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's like you gotta, to a certain level, like grow with them. And like, and also like, I be trying to read books and like understand all that shit, because I didn't grow up a girl. So I be trying to like know how to, you know, address the things that my dad couldn't teach me. He didn't have no girls. So like, I'm kind of just like.
How many boys?
Just two boys.
It's just two.
It's just me and my brother. But then my brother got 4 kids. My brother's got 3 boys and a girl. So like, they got hella grandkids that are all like different personalities. And just watching how they interact with my kids teaches me how to interact with my kids.
Are your parents still together?
Yeah, they've been married for 37 years, I think, or 38 years.
That's dope.
That's different, right? Most of my friends don't have parents that have been married for that long, but some of them do.
Yeah,
some of my friends do. I don't mean to say like none of my friends do, but they was always so on some like family shit. Like me and my brother couldn't fight. Like we would both get a whooping if we fought, even if Taylor was wrong. Like we couldn't do a lot of shit like I had to get beat. If my brother got beat up at the park and I came home and I wasn't beat the fuck up, like bad, it was over for me. So like we've always had to be super close based on how they raised us to be. And same thing for like is how I try and teach my kids, because my kids like to fight, and both my kids are in boxing. Yeah, like but I be having to tell them like it's gonna be a point where it ain't gonna be no mom and it ain't gonna be no dad. It's just gonna be y'all two.
This is the obvious here, right? And we've seen the news, and we're not gonna talk and get into the weeds about your marriage or your ex-wife respectfully. I want to give you the open forum to really control, like, yo, like, how has that been publicly, where from what we've seen, what we've read, y'all are good. Co-parenting is co-parenting.
Yeah. It ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make it seem like I send her grand rising queen every day, but it's like we navigate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me not make too many jokes. I don't want to talk about that shit too much. But like I'm just saying, like, we're two humans that have known each other forever, it feels like. We share two other humans, and we share a city, and we share all of our friends. So no matter what, even if none of that shit existed, we'd be locked in forever. I think for anybody that's co-parenting, the only ever like moments of not being on the exact same page that only ever come up about the kids. Like it's like it ain't even really nothing else to not be on the same page about. So like with that in mind and understanding how much we both love our kids, like we both in our 30s now, like we learn how to make concessions to like do what's best for the kids, how to like, you know, I forget what they call it, but like it's like when you say like, I feel like, instead of just saying, yo ass a lame, like you gotta be like, I feel like yo ass a lame. So like we learning things like that. I'm just joking. I hope that doesn't become a headline, but I'm just saying like we learning how to be a unit, because we growing these two girls that are gonna be extremely, extremely important to their communities, to their families, and to each other. So we trying to like continuously like instill that unity, that ain't nobody coming between us, that we, you know what I'm saying, we still travel together, still, you know, and I don't think that that's the only way to have a positive relationship too. Like I know some people that don't talk to their BD at all, don't talk to their BM at all. Like they don't have no relationship, and that's what's healthiest for them. But I think for what we inspired to do, and not even inspired, but what we have to do with our kids, like it only makes sense for us to be on the same page.
Let me ask you this, and I want to have this as an open forum for me and you, because you are helping me, right? Certain things that you're saying about your children is obviously as co-parenting. I have to ask you this, from man to man, have you given yourself grace?
I say I gave myself a lot of grace. No, let me chill. Wait. Well, how do I want to answer that question? I feel like I gave myself. Wait, let me think about that question.
Okay, I'll start.
I feel like it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm also working. I'm also like, you know what I'm saying, trying to be as present as possible for my kids, trying to be, you know, as water to anything that is not what I want to hear as possible. I don't know. I feel like as a man, like, I don't mean to say it like that, but like just how I understand that word and how I was raised, like it's not always gonna be easy. It's not always gonna be time to go to sleep. It's not always gonna be, you know what I'm saying, like it's just
ideal.
Just real life. Yeah, it's not gonna be ideal. It's gonna be what it is. And it's like, how do we Harlem shake through the pressure to end up like looking like everything was cool the whole time once we get to the end?
Bro, I say it like this, bro. It's extremely hard. Bro, it's tough. It's draining.
Yeah.
You feel the weight knowing that, like, dang, bro. Like, I never was married, but always in a relationship where it got public opinion. And people who are close to me, who see my life, they like, man, why are you doing? But it's like, me can retaliate, and like, you could never relate. But then you do take a step back and you do analyze, like, yo, like that's not ideal.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always wanted a big family, right? I've always wanted to be with one.
Yeah.
That's not ideal
Yeah.
for me, who I am now. But when I do see my children, when I do see the mother of my children, it can kind of be like the world can make you feel a certain type of way when that's not the case.
The truth, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what we're not about to do is allow somebody else to impact how we still feel about each other.
Fact.
And that's what I mean by grace.
Yeah.
Like, there's times where saying to people who gain your trust, like, bro, I'm not okay with how we are right now, and we gotta fix it. And if it's me that gotta fix it, just give me grace, just give me understanding. But it's like, bro, I'm going through a lot right now.
Yeah.
I do feel pressure, and it's always weaponized because my parents have been together for 40 years. And
We are the same person.
bro, listen, dog, and that's why I'm so like, I'm a fan, bro. Like, I see what has happened, and I don't want this to be the headline of like, oh, bro, he talking. No, it's like, bro, it's two men talking in ways where iron is sharpening iron, and it has went to the extent where it's like, bro, your life is your life. That's not Cinderella's shoe is not gonna fit on Cam's foot. And you just have to make the best of the situation. I've had pressure for feeling like, yo, God said that. Like, man, hold on, God, I've been talking to my boy. You know, like, Mo, I'm listening to him through the Apple beats. Like, hold on.
When people tell you, God told me to tell you, I'm like, he got my phone number. Like
you ain't send me no text.
Like, what?
But it gets real tricky because even in the comments, like, people will project what they think you're supposed
your life is supposed to be, yeah.
And that's not necessarily the case. And the thing that I always say is like, bro, like, that's cool, but it's gonna happen when it happens. And as it's happening, I ain't perfect, you ain't perfect. And then this is like the stamp right here. What would Jesus do? Jesus wasn't married.
That's a point I never even heard made before. You're right though. I feel like let me think about what I'm about to say.
Please, because
let me think
because I don't want to.
No, because before I get too honest, I always want to maintain the honesty, but I want to make my thoughts.
And that's important that you do, because like oftentimes, like, people will say like, bro, you got them too comfortable. Like, we get so comfortable on your shit. It's not that,
we comfortable. It's good.
It's one of them things. It's banter that needs to be happening, man. And I don't think a lot of people use their real life. And I'm not afraid to share certain things. It's like, bro, my relationship with my woman now is extremely hard. Not only just for her, for me too. I don't show that. I have to be stoic. I'm gonna have 9 kids, bro. I'm proud of each and every one. That's beautiful. No, it's extremely beautiful. I fathered kids that did not come from my sack.
You saying you adopted them?
No, like, I've taken them on as my responsibility.
Right.
And you can't tell me that they're not mine, and then you can't tell them that I'm not theirs. Mm-hmm. And there's 100%. Been situations where I've been patient, I've seen it, and it's like, you're not about to, going back to other people's projections, you're not about to sit up here and tell me that I'm doing the devil's work, but it's something that's so pure.
What?
And I'm nurturing lives, and I'm trying to impact in a positive way. And even if it's not my children in my household, it's like the give back, it's the philanthropy. It's like, yo, bro, like I'm talking to you, little bro. I'm talking to you, little sis, because, you know, I've been through it. It may not look like what I've been through, but I done been through it. And that's where we have to be real about real conversations, and knowing that I hope what I'm saying is impacting the person. I don't really want to get into the masses because, you know, it is what it is. But for a person to say like, bro, I felt that. I felt that. Maybe I do need to kind of take it into consideration. Yeah. But for y'all to make me feel like I'm breaking up a home or this person is this, it's like, man, we doing the best that we possibly can, man. Kia, Lorena, Jazz, man, y'all doing an amazing job, and I love y'all. Y'all are my responsibilities, with all due respect to what the relationship is. That's the man talking to me. Like, there's other situations where you can kind of you can kind of speak and you can kind of talk and it goes and goes and goes and you're like, nah, bro, like that ain't me. That's not my situation. It may look like that. That's not my situation. I'm happy. We're happy here.
Yeah. The world is always going to see the celebrities for what they know about them or what they've heard about them. And like we was just saying earlier, there's the conflicts that you see are, you know, there's two main characters or a character that you're familiar with that's famous, but the real story and what they want people to have feelings on is those two sides of what's right or what's wrong. And so they might vilify you or say negative things about you, but it's never even about you. Like, it's really just about the fact that they feel like they have to virtue signal and say what they believe is right or wrong in this context, and you just happen to be the face that they're using for that conversation. And so I try and keep that in my mind anytime that something's happening with me that it feels like, damn, all these people is going hard on me because of this. It's like, really, like, I'm not even really a part of the conversation. I'm just being used to further this conversation. And I feel like with like marriage and family, like that's all it is. It's all, at the end of the day, you always got to go home. After the lights cut off, everybody gets paid. Everybody gets what they got to do. They all gonna go home and you got to go home. And I've been home alone. I've been in the position of being like, okay, this is my life. You know what I'm saying? And I have to always make decisions that are gonna affect my home and that in my first mind over anything else that I'm doing out in the world. All the things I'm doing in the world are really, I'm only even leaving the house so I could come home with something more than I left with. So at the end of the day, fuck all them people. Like, even if they family, whoever, like if they not in that home, if they not your responsibility, it doesn't matter what they think or what they got to say. And I think you know how much you love your family and who your family is. And so you protective of even people's image of how you take care of your stuff, because I know that you take care of your shit. So it's like, in any case, like, people are always going to have perceptions of you. That's the part of perspective. Like, nobody in this room knows another person better than they know themselves, and we all have perspectives on who this person is and how they handle themselves when they outside and how much they love their family or how much whatever. But it's like, the truth is just always going to be the truth. And that's the only thing you could really affect in your home is, what is the truth of your house? What is the protections that you got over your kids, over your woman, over your extended family? And I think I'm learning to manage the amount of responsibilities, because I was, you know what I'm saying? There were a couple people in my family that went to college, but in a lot of ways, because I got famous and became a rapper, you know how it is for black people. Like, we become the epicenter of fucking support. And I'm not saying that in a way that I'm ashamed or like that I'm mad at how I take care of my family, but that's you. If you are black and you get an NFL contract or start selling records or do whatever, you become responsible for an entire ecosystem of people outside of you. And not even just your family and friends, but also your neighborhood. You got to start doing philanthropy. You got to start doing, and I'm not saying that in a bad way either. I'm saying you got to do that because that's the responsibility we was placed with as black folk. When it's time though, at a certain point, all men must take care of their home. Right. And so, like, I think we always have to operate with this understanding of like, these are the kids that are important to me. This is the woman that's important to me. And these are my parents or my elders or my little smaller community over that. And when you're taking care of that, they gonna go street team for you. And they gonna go carry that message for you. And then you could grow that ecosystem again. But like, watering the people in the comments, like, fuck them niggas. Like, watering the naysayers, that's, you know, your mom's old coworker that said, why'd you fuck shorty? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, respect you, you know what I'm saying? You got this respect as an elder, but like, you're not my tribe, you feel me? Like, you're not a person I'm responsible for. And yeah.
Are you dating?
No. I'm really focused on putting out this album and, you know what I'm saying, going on this tour, having like people finally get to have something from me again. It's been 6 years. I love, you know what I'm saying? But I just be chilling. I just be hanging out. And I think like, not even to make it like I'm sounding like I'm cleaning it up, but I'm working on really, really loving on my kids. and on my mother. Like my mom and my kids are my biggest responsibility and my biggest the thing that I want to dedicate any extra time that I have where I'm not, at a mall trying to tell people to buy my CD. Like I'm trying to be with them.
Say less. I think one of the last questions that I have is you spoke about being this independence and standing on a table and believing in yourself, right? Words of advice from the entrepreneur, where blank canvas, here's your text, here's your pen, here's your brush, paragraph or less, ready, set, go.
In this current time, the most important two things that you can build is a team under you and a fan base. And all the things that you think you might need to get those two things are exactly what you'll get once you build those first things. So a lot of us in my industry, we still think about the idea of being discovered or getting put on or getting seen. And the reality is that will not take you any further. It just puts another person on your back. What you have to do is, like how we was just talking about, your cousins, your friends, your coworker, whoever you can make either a fan or a part of your team. Once you build that out, all of those networks, those, label deals, if that's what you want, the TV opportunities, radio opportunities, touring opportunities, merchandise sales, all of those things come because those people see that you have an audience and that you have a well-operating machine. And so you get a few of your friends to come out and street team with you, or you get a few of your friends to go, try and work radio or try and, sell some merchandise somewhere or whatever, represent you publicly. People see that you got a team and they respect you just a little bit differently. On the other hand, you do a show and you got a bunch of people singing the words, whether I heard your name or not. Now I want to know who you are. Why all these people know your words? And that could come from as simply as putting on a small show for all the people that you already know. And then do another small show for all the people you already know and tell them to bring a friend. And then do another show where only a few of those people come, but now you got an audience, you got a showcase or somebody else's space taking their fans. Then once you start to go out in other spaces and it's just all those people that you've seen in those 3 shows have become catalysts, right? They naturally spread in your music or the fact that you do music. Somebody's gonna see you with a crowd and with a team, and they gonna wanna add on to what you got going. And now you're in a position where you already got the workers and you already got the audience. So you could decide what you even really wanna take from that person. And definitely decide what, if any, you want to give up to that person.
Also distribute to that person.
Exactly. So I feel like for any people, just the world that we live in, like there is a lot of like algorithm and bots and labels and all these things that like you think is the machine or the fast pass to get into what you want. But the reality is, like, I've seen it time and time again. I'm talking about Baby Chief Do It, the artist I was just talking about. I wasn't super familiar with his music. He did a show at Summer Smash in Chicago, the Lyrical Lemonade Festival, and had probably like 600 or 700 people out there going crazy to his every word on the song that he had just dropped, I think like the week before. And I saw that and immediately wanted him on my album, immediately started sending his music to other people before we even connected. And until I started saying it out loud today, I don't know, he might have employed all the tactics I was talking about earlier. Them might have been all his cousins and friends in the crowd. His team might be his uncle and his auntie. But when I saw his team and I saw his crowd, I'm like, this nigga's doing something. And within the last like month or two, he's everywhere. He's on TikTok, and what he did, like I said, you gotta have a friend that can hold a camera. They don't gotta be a videographer, film school expert, just somebody that holds a camera. They shot the video for Went West, which has got millions of views now, just him rapping it at that crowd at that exact same scene that I was at. And I think you just gotta have the people around you and the people in front of you, and you'll be there.
Man, I asked for a paragraph. He gave me a book. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all cop Starline.
Yes, sir.
Right
From me. The streaming is cool, but get this. This is my stuff. And you can go to chancestuff.com to get my stuff directly from me. Black entrepreneurship, my brother.
Man, as we end things here at Funky Friday, we're gonna start with this camera, then we're gonna go to this camera, then we're gonna finish with this camera. When I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say what?
One love.
Here we go. It's gonna look a little like this. One finger, one pinky, one thumb. And when I say all together, we're gonna say one love. Ready? One finger, one pinky, one thumb. You botched that up, bro.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you're trying to make me. Yeah.
But this signal is the Braille or the sign language for
love. Yeah. Okay. I know ASL. I used to taught ASL in my classes. This is thank you. This is Chance. This is actually an actual universally recognized ASL. I got my own name and sign language. Shout out to Definitely Dope.
That's dopey.
No, I love ASL. My ex-wife used to teach ASL too. So like, we work with hella deaf kids. My nephew is deaf or hard of hearing. So,
man, keep getting interested and interested. Here we go. As we end things here at Funky Friday, man, let's rock and roll. Here we go. One finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, Chance the Rapper.
Hey, that was amazing. Thank you. Hey, thanks for leaving a good too, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.